Hello and welcome to another edition of Debatable here on GodIsAGeek.com. My name is Colm and this week we are getting all mega and mighty. But more mighty than mega, but the mightiness is kind of inspired by the meganess. Who loves potato salad? I don't. I think it tastes like something Satan himself would pick from his anal cavity, but apparently a lot of you internet people do like it. At time of recording this, Saturday the 12th of July at 10:37am, there are 21 days left in a Kickstarter campaign that Zach Brown started to create his first ever potato salad. The inhabitants of the globe, with access to the internet and money burning a hole in their pocket, have pledged $47,239. Brown was looking for $10. Recession? What fucking recession? People like potato salad and they sure as hell like KJ Inafune too. Along with successful edible Kickstarter projects, people like to put their money into unfinished video games. Concepts and ideas have become just enough for the video game playing public to say, take my money! One of the most successful video game Kickstarters takes us back to August/October of 2013, when Capcom legend KJ Inafune announced details of his new studio Comcept's idea, Mighty Number 9. Looking for $900,000, Comcept received over $4 million from the Kickstarter and additional PayPal donations accrued once the Kickstarter had finished on October 1st. They hit every single stretch goal that they had hoped for, such as a PS4, Xbox One, Vita and 3DS versions, a co-op challenge mode, a making of documentary, you name it, and Comcept got it. The reason why the Mighty Number 9 Kickstarter was so successful comes down to the fact that it's fucking Mega Man. More or less, it basically is just about exactly like Mega Man, the series which Inafune is most associated with. He has Onimusha, Dead Rising, Soul Sacrifice and Resident Evil credits, but to name a few, but Rockman is Inafune's bread and butter. It's been 4 years since the famed developer left Capcom due to frustration, and similarly, fans of Mega Man have been upset with how the series has been handled by Capcom over the last number of years. Mega Man Legends 3 was cancelled in July 2011 because Capcom claimed fan support wasn't there. Depending on who you ask now, the game is still in development, but it's hard to say if this truly is the case due to conflicting reports. In an interview with US Gamer back in March, Inafune said that Legends 3 remains the game he would most like to complete. I put so much effort into that game, so much passion into that game, but it didn't happen. It's always a regret in my mind, even now. Strange thing to say when Mighty Number 9 is after raking in the cash and is an example that people do care about Mega Man, or at least something within Inafune attached that is very Mega Man-like. Why not let bygones be bygones and focus on the potential of this new thing that people obviously care about rather than dwell on past achievements? Move on, KG. In the past week, Comcept have Oliver twisted the general public and said, "Please sir, can we have some more?" This time, the world's population hasn't been so charitable. Comcept are currently asking fans to delve deeper into their pockets and pony up an extra 200 grand for Japanese and English voice acting on their official website. Around the same time, an animated series was confirmed to be in the works that would be aimed at kids between 6 and 11. Digital Frontier, the company behind the cartoon, are currently seeking funding for the project, but we're led to believe that none of the $4 million from Kickstarter or any money given to Comcept in this new fund drive will be given to the animated series. Things get a wee bit fishy when you see Comcept, as well as taking PayPal donations on their site, has turned to, excuse my pronunciation here, Makuaki, which is a Japanese-based funding site in the same vein as Kickstarter, and they've turned to Makuaki to fund Japanese voice acting. Joystick notes that it's unclear whether these two campaigns are separate or are acting concurrently for the same goal. I ask you though, when the fuck do you draw the line? Initially, Comcept were only looking for $900k to create the spiritual successor to Mega Man, but after making almost 4 times their goal, it's not enough? And look, I'm well aware that video games cost an awful amount of cash these days, but there's an old saying that is very applicable here. Live within your means. Fans were happy to part with a massive amount of money for Mighty Number 9. Comcept reached all their stretch goals, and yet they want more cash. No, I'm not your treasurer. You can feel free to do with your money as you see fit, but it does appear that you're not too eager to make it rain this time around. At time of recording, they're a long ways away from reaching their goal, which makes me think that the public has realised they're not a fucking bank, and there is a cut-off point. Kickstarter is a fascinating beast, and not one that I outright disagree with at all. I, for one, have backed projects on Kickstarter before, video games focused and otherwise, and I've been happy with most of the output. But this is downright cheeky, or ballsy, depending on your outlook. After initially deeming 4 million enough to make the game, they come back and look for more. This won't halt development in any way, shape or form, and if Comcept don't get the money they're looking for, the process will continue as normal. However, if they do reach their goal of $200,000, what kind of precedent does this set for the whole crowdsourcing model? Will a Kickstarter's end date mean bollocks? Why couldn't voice acting have been included as a stretch goal in the original funding effort? It just doesn't sit right. But as I said, you have the power, which, funnily enough, is what Inafune keeps referring to in their latest funding video. When he says power, I think he's actually saying money. It's funny if you look at it that way. Essentially, I, Inafune, or anyone else can force you to pledge money or not pledge money to any project. If you crazy internet cunts want to put $47,280 into a potato salad Kickstarter... hang on. Since I've started putting this episode of Debatable together, the amount pledged to this Kickstarter has gone up like... $40 or something? What? I don't understand any of you. I'm going to bed. Budgeting appears to be a lost art. I mean, they got $4 million US dollars from the Kickstarter and the PayPal slackerbacker weird thing, and yet, yeah, they're still looking for more and more and more. And it does slightly worry me a little bit that if they do reach this, like, will we see a lot more examples of this in the future? Who knows? Kickstarter's still a very strange beast, as I said, and it is still something that we're still trying to wrap our heads around, really, because it is so new. And now it's time to see what you lovely, sexy, beautiful people said about last week's episode when I discussed Peter Dinklage's role in Destiny. And Brent Z, or Z, depending on what part of the world you're from, Brent. Maybe it kind of sounds like the alter ego of David Brent, the evil David Brent. And Brent Z said that he ordered one of the Wizard Came From The Moon t-shirts and he still hasn't gotten it. Oh, god damn it! Brent, I don't know what to say to you. I hope you have other pieces of clothing to put on yourself so that you don't kind of have to... I mean, the weather was lovely there for a long time, but it is starting to get a bit rainy and a bit dull. So I do hope that you do have clothes to put on, because otherwise you'll just get drowned outside. But look, that's what Brent had to say about last week's episode, and you're just after seeing what I had to say about this week's episode, and I want to hear from you, whether it be in the YouTube comments or the comments in the article on godisgeek.com, or you can tweet me, because everything I said on this show and past shows and future shows, well look, it's just my opinion and my opinion alone. And as always, dear friends, it's debatable.